So after all that, you know what with you know who, his first movie is called Emancipation. The universe is obviously a simulation. And the sooner we all realize that, the better off we'll be. Alright, welcome to Taste Take. If you're new here, I do spoiler-free movie and TV reviews. Give you a little background, just let you know if I think it's worth checking out or not. If that's something you're into, hit that subscribe button for your boy. For my regular taste takers, let's see if Will Smith can run away with another Oscar. Get it? I said run away, and it's about a slave who, because he's like a runaway. I guess that was not a complicated one. Little background here, Emancipation is a new movie inspired by the true story of a runaway slave named Peter. Soon after his escape, the world would know him as Whipped Peter because of a photograph taken in 1863 showed his mutilated back. It was basically one of the first looks that the world would have at just how horrific slavery really was. Also, if you want to talk about worst nicknames of all time, Whipped Peter. Why do they call you Whipped Peter? Oh, because that's messed up. So yeah, this picture went around the world and abolitionists were using it as like ammo. They're like, look, see, we told you slavery is bad. And black people were like, yes, obviously. And then so the world was kind of just slowly like, all right, well, maybe it's getting out of hand. Back then, the South was trying to tell people that like they were treating the slaves nicely and fairly. Like, of course, they're working for free in terrible conditions. But the South slave owners, they were like, look, just relax. Like, we're treating them good down here. Of course. Like, there's no proof. There's no videos. So then this picture comes out and then everyone's like, what the hell? You said you were. Look at his back. Anyway, one of the producers of the film is Joey McFarlane. He started researching this story back in 2018 and decides he wants to make a movie. He's white. And just relax. That's not important. So he grabs his boy Bill Collage to write it. He's also white. And just relax. It's not important. In July 2020, the film is announced to be directed by Antoine Fuqua and, of course, starring Will Smith. We all know Will Smith and his body of work, but you probably also know most of Antoine Fuqua's movies, like Training Day, the Equalizer movies, The Replacement Killers, Magnificent Seven, and, of course, his magnum opus, in my opinion, Bait. Man, I love Bait. Y'all seen Bait? You seen Bait. So I didn't even know. That's his best one. It's better than Training Day. Sorry about it. This is serious. Anyway, the movie was set to start filming in Georgia in June of last year. But because the state passed the Election Integrity Act of 2021, aka the Voter Suppression of Black People Act, the team was like, oh nah, we're out of here. Took their ball and left. And that's a shout out to the people involved in the movie. The director, Antoine, Will, like, I give you credit for, just like, nah, we're out of here. And also Apple for like letting him do it, because it's like, it's not cheap to move your whole set, like when you're about to start filming. So that's a shout out. And because they moved the shooting of the film, like it ended up being filmed in Louisiana, which is where the story took place. So it's like, everybody wins, except you, Herschel Walker. You lose. All right, plot time is on the way, but it wouldn't be me if I didn't touch on a little controversy. All right, real quick. So remember I told you about the producer, Joey McFarlane, whose idea was to even make this movie, right? Right. And remember I told you about that famous picture of Whipped Peter in 1863? Right? Right. So check this out. My guy Joey, the producer, decides to pull up to the premiere of this movie, Emancipation, with the picture of Whipped Peter. No. Like the original. Like the real one.
I beg your pardon? I beg your pardon?
Yes, like the original photo. Just pulled it out of his pocket like freaking Dungeons and Dragons. You know what? No one's gonna believe me. Just play the clip.
Tell me how you came to own the photo and why it was important for you to, once you did.
He's right there.
I have the photo. This is the original photograph from 1863. And I wanted it to be here tonight. I wanted a piece of Peter to be here tonight.
And he don't even got it that protected. Like, I've seen Michael Jordan rookie cards that are more sealed up than that. Like, bro, why do you even have that thing? So anyway, the internet does what the internet does and drags this guy for filth. He does what he does, makes a statement saying, I'm so sorry, like, I'm a collector. Like, look, I'm sure this is a good dude. I have no reason to think otherwise, but like, come on, man. Like, white people really just be trying to have everything. Like, just make the movie. It's not enough to make the movie. You gotta have the real picture. Put it in the museum, man. Just put it in the DC museum, man. Just put it there. All right. Plot time. I pretty much covered a lot of this, so I'll be brief. Emancipation follows the story of Peter, who separated from his family and brought to this Confederate labor camp to build a weaponized railroad system. So of course they're there treating all the slaves like animals, and Peter's like, what the hell, this sucks. But then he overhears some of the Confederates saying how Lincoln freed the slaves. And he's like, what the? He finds an opportunity to make a run for it, and he's in search of Lincoln's army of Union soldiers who he hears are in Baton Rouge. Now, do these Confederate slave owners let my man Peter and his friends go? Because after all, their President Lincoln said the slaves are free. Of course not, man. They go chasing them down on horses with a pack of angry dogs to bring their property back home. So now we're on this adventure to see if Peter can make it out the swamp and find his freedom. And now we got a movie. So what's my take? This movie is Oscar level acting for Will Smith. But I don't think this is a great movie. And first things first, let me be clear. There's a huge camp of people who think we make enough slave movies. They don't want to see them anymore. It's too traumatic. But I disagree. I think they're very educational. We need to see them because most people are not learning about this stuff in school. At least they're not learning about it the right way. So it's not that I'm tired of seeing slave movies. It's just that I don't think this one brought enough new to the table. In my opinion, the draw to this story is the photograph. Like, the first look at how crazy slavery is that the world saw and what happened after is very compelling. And it's what sets this movie from a normal runaway slave movie to being something far more unique. This is a real deep part of history which I don't think enough people know about, but when you put it side by side with other famous imagery, you see how scary our past is and just what it takes to make a change. You look at this photo of with Peter to help shine some light on just how brutal slavery was to black people. You got the photo of Emmett Till's body that helped spark the civil rights movement that showed how bad parts of the South were to black people. You got the imagery of George Floyd that sparked the 2020 movements that showed just how brutal some police are to black people. And it's not about dwelling on how long this has been going on. These images are terrible to see, and you obviously wish that you don't have to experience that to spark change. But it's not disputable that these things helped move the needle on equality. But unfortunately, Emancipation spends less time on this photo and more time on this adventure of Peter escaping his slave owners and trying to navigate the swamp to find his freedom. Will Smith has been going on his press tour talking about this movie. This isn't a slave movie. This is a freedom movie.
This is not another slave movie
At all.
Yeah.
It's a redemption story.
Yeah, this is a freedom movie.
Yeah.
Emancipation was not a movie about slavery. It was a movie about freedom.
I said, baby, I promise you I wouldn't make a slave movie. This is a freedom movie, you know?
Oh, wow.
Wow. Yeah,
Wow.
I'm just not sure Will Smith has seen this movie yet. I mean, I get what he's saying, but bruh, it's slavery. This is a slavery movie. Even in the actual press notes of the film, it says this, and I quote, "Emancipation doesn't shy away from the dark psychological mechanics of enslavement." It's in the press notes. Now, I don't know if you guys know this. This is a quick tangent. Will Smith never wanted to make a slave movie like in his career. He said, "Don't give me the script if Tom Cruise couldn't play it." Respectable, got it. But did you know that he almost changed his mind for Django? Yeah, he was supposed to be Jamie Foxx's character, which I guess is Django. Right. So yeah, so Will Smith was like, all right, this movie is unique enough, I'm interested. But he didn't see eye to eye with Tarantino, because Tarantino wanted to make this movie about vengeance, and Will wanted to make it about love. Obviously, it didn't work out. Jamie Foxx is Django. It's the classic movie. Everyone loves it. It's okay. Cool. So here in Emancipation, he says, now this is a story about the power of black love. And I just don't know if I agree. Like, yes, they start the movie out showing his family. You see the love for his wife, his children. But when he's like on the run, escaping alligators and jumping through the swamps and all that, like, I'm not consciously thinking, okay, he's on the run to get back to his family. I'm thinking like, no, like slavery sucks and they're beating his ass. I'm curious to hear y'all thoughts if y'all saw it differently, because like, of course you can make the argument that yes, the thought of his family is keeping him going, but I don't think it was glaring. Go back to my original point. You put more emphasis on the photo and what minds you changed and how the paradigm shifted, then maybe you got your freedom movie. I'm gonna give Emancipation 3 stars, and that's a score that's boosted because 1, it's a story that needs to be told, and 2, the acting is good. But this is not a movie that I want to see again. And it's not just because of the imagery. Like, the movie Till came out not that long ago, and if you've seen Till, you know that that's not an easy film to watch. But I would watch that movie again, but there's no big stars in it. No one went to see it. Made about $6 at the box office, and right now it's sitting at 98% on Rotten Tomatoes. It ain't right. Here we have a way bigger budget movie, way bigger movie star who did give a compelling performance, yet the Oscars, for obvious reasons, will not be giving this man an award. I just think it's been a quiet enough year for performances that he should at least be nominated. And even though I think he acted well, there were still times in the movie where I was seeing Will Smith and not seeing Peter. One scene for sure, I was like, that's the same face he made when he fell in the tracks in Bad Boys 2.
Yeah, it's been a little rough.
And the freaking accent did not help. This movie takes place in Louisiana. Peter and his family are from Haiti. A lot of the other slaves are from Haiti. And it sounded like they casted a lot of real Haitians. I don't know. I guess I get it. It's Will Smith. You gotta have movie stars. But to pay him $35 million to do a bad Creole accent, I'm pretty sure you could have found a real Haitian at a discount. Either way, like I said, this is still a story that needs to be told. Will Smith does a good job in the performance. You are interested in this adventure to find out just how he escapes. Like, you're into it. Either way, I just hope this helps Will Smith move on once and for all from Oscargate. To be clear, I've always been team Chris Rock, but more importantly, I'm team we don't crucify people for one mistake, and team our bad decisions don't define us. I'm hearing rumblings that some people don't want to watch this movie at all just because Will Smith is in it, and I think that's insane. We need to give people grace, especially someone like Will Smith, who until this year has given us no reason not to. I am now officially off my Will Smith soapbox. Emancipation is out now on Apple TV Plus. You should check it out if you want to check it out. Just remember that some stories are more important than the movie stars we get to tell them. As always, thanks for checking out Tate Steak. If you enjoy the video, make sure to hit that like and that subscribe button. In the comments, you know, it's Will Smith. You can talk about that. I'm curious to see what camp you're in as far as like the slave movies. Are you tired of slave movies? Do we need slave movies? Do you just want different slave movies? What's your favorite slave movie? You know, stuff like that. Thanks for the time, y'all. Peace. Made it the whole video without one slap joke. And that's just growth. That's what that is. That's all that is. Because, like, you know, of course, like, it's easy. That's like that's low-hanging fruit. The comedy's got to be distinguished, you know? So it's just another level of growth. That's all it is.